In February, we start to think about those plants that are going to be coming out of dormancy and which ones to prune. Today, we are here in the vineyard at Perkins Cimarron Research Station, and joining me is Aaron Essary, who is our new state extension specialist in viticulture and also enology, which is the study of both wines and growing grapes. So Aaron, thank you for having us out here.
Of course, thank you, Casey.
Yeah, so it's time to start looking at our grapevines. And now's the time to prune before they break bud?
That's correct. You want to prune as late as you can in the winter before bud break, before the spring gets here. So late February, March is the time.
Okay.
So
what are we looking at here? I know it kind of depends on your style of grapes.
Yes.
Vineyards, trellising.
Correct, just that. This today we're working on a Chamberson grapevine, which is pretty prevalent here in Oklahoma. This is a high cordon trellis, which means that the vine grows tall and then the canes and shoots grow downward.
Okay.
That's one way to do it. Another way is a vertical shoot position, which is, you know, about hip high and they grow upward. But this is a high cordon and it grows downward.
So it kind of creates this curtain effect.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. But as you can see, the vine is fully dormant, and these are all 1 year growth. This was this season's growth.
Okay.
The bigger stuff is previous season's growth, and you just have to go through and you have to prune it, especially for production. If you're doing this to really grow grapes for wine, you give it a pretty good hard pruning, and then that just stimulates really good growth for the upcoming growing season.
So do they produce on the new growth or the old growth, or does it depend on?
New growth.
Okay.
Grapes, the grape berry itself is on 1 year current growing season shoots.
Okay, all right.
But now, to train a vine, that takes multiple years.
Okay.
And I'll just kind of explain it.
Yeah.
So this is your trunk. You plant it in the ground, it's a little sapling, and then it just grows.
Right.
Okay, and then once it reaches this top wire, because we're on a high cordon system, you snip it, and you get lateral growth.
You get that branching, okay.
That's right, which becomes your cordons. So these are many years old. They're just big and girthy, and those are your cordons. From your cordons, you get spurs. And spurs are kind of semi-permanent, but from your spurs, you get canes, which is the shoots, which are current. So from cordons to spurs to canes, that's kind of how it goes.
So it's a multiplication effect, right? You got two cordons, and then you've got so many spurs, and from each of those you get even more vines.
And yep, and that's why I say it's kind of semi-permanent. Once they're established, they can be there for as long time, but if you cut wrong or cut inappropriate, or if you're doing it intentionally, you can space them and move them, but it takes a year or two to do that.
Okay. So what do we do with all of this old stuff here?
That's right. So we're going to cut all of this off. Just going to rough prune it, give it a good trim.
Okay.
To do that, we need a good pair of pruners.
Okay.
And before you start pruning, you actually want to Lysol your pruners. You disinfect them rather, but regular Lysol works just fine. Maybe if they have any debris, just, rub any. You don't want to spread diseases, is what I'm saying.
Right, okay, so that's sanitation there.
Correct. So now we're ready to go.
Start cutting?
So this is rough prune. You're going to find, you just dive in.
Okay.
I'm not counting buds right now. I'm not thinking too hard. I'm just trying to knock off all of this growth so that way I can better work with, just once it's out of the way, you can really do better.
Yeah, so you're leaving a good foot, 12, 18 inches.
Six buds is a good aiming point for rough pruning. But again, we're going to cut it down to, and these are suckers.
Yeah, I was going to ask, what about these lower ones? Do you not try to?
No. This is cut all these off.
Okay.
These are suckers. These will only take away from your, growing shoots up top. Yeah. Get all your suckers off. So it's desuckered. Vines are pretty hardy. And you just kind of go to where the other end, to where the cordon ends. Two cordons will come together. You just find the breaking point. Yeah, and so that's a rough prune.
Okay.
And so you see it's sort of taking shape, but we still got a lot to do.
Yes.
So now this is much more manageable.
Right.
You see, we can actually go on a count.
Okay.
So now we have our trunk, cordon. We want 5 or 6 spurs per cordon, and then we want to count up 2 or 3 buds per spur.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
So again, your spurs are kind of these shorter,
That's
thicker, older stems, and then you're going to be looking at buds.
Correct. So now we're going to fine prune this.
Okay.
Let's start on this right cordon. So we'll go here. We have some spurs you can see. Let's cut this out, and then so
So that is a spur we cut off, right?
yes, I cut that off because we have one right here.
Okay.
You don't want two right beside each other.
Gotcha.
You want about 4 to 6 inches apart between spurs.
Okay.
So this is going to become a spur now. I'm going to count buds, and buds are these white. Those are this year's growing shoots. So just count them 1, 2, and then cut right there.
Okay.
And then that's it. So that's a spur pruned for this year's growth.
So when spring breaks and these buds actually begin to break, because right now they're still dormant,
Correct.
so you're going to have multiple shoots come out of there and drape over, and then that's what will provide us with all of our berries.
That's it.
Okay.
That's it. You usually get about 3 clusters per shoot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
2 to 3.
So how many spurs do you typically look for to leave on there?
5 or 6 per cordon.
Okay.
And you want them again a fist length apart.
Okay.
4 to 6 inches.
Okay.
But yeah, 5 to 6 spurs per cordon, 2 to 3 buds per spur.
Okay, so it's pretty straightforward. It's just kind of a labor-intensive project.
It's
if you
doing
have a
it.
lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, as you can see, we got the whole row to go through. Yeah.
So if we continue on, what would we keep this one, or I mean that seems fairly small.
It does. Maybe not. I might just cut this out. So cut that. But I have one here on the back.
Okay.
And then I have one right here, and I might just trim this up. Okay. So now it's looking right. 1, 2. Cut right there.
Okay.
Brand new spur.
And do you ever have to replace spurs? So you might allow a smaller one to come in. And...
You do. Yes, and that depends on too your pruning practices. As you get better at pruning, you know where to cut and how to cut. As it grows too. So we're going to have a shoot, and this is going to grow. Well, next year we're going to have brand new cane. We have to prune that back now. So we'll prune it to here.
Okay.
Well, as you can see, it's after years
so your spurs get longer.
They do,
okay.
And then you can just go back and cut it out and you start a brand new one.
Okay.
You see, so they're semi-permanent.
Do you ever start back with a new cordon?
Yes, you do. Cordons, especially for production, it's good to replace cordons every 10 years, roughly. You know, it depends on fruitfulness. But yeah, if you were to, so all the suckers we cut off earlier, if you were to have one, you could actually cut this whole cordon off, lay a brand new sucker, don't lay a sucker, but a 1-year growing cane.
Right.
And that would be your new cordon.
Right. What would otherwise seem kind of like a sucker or a water sprout, it actually will replace if you needed to.
If you needed to. That's right. That's right.
Okay.
You can do that.
All right. Well, Aaron, thank you so much for allowing us to see this process. And I think we're going to join you as we continue through the season with grapes.
Absolutely. We'd love to. We'd love to.
you.
Thanks for having me, Casey.
Thank you. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.